Hello? Hello? Hello?
Okay, it's working.
Okay. Yeah. You hit it.
Yeah.
Got
But it's unmuted. Don't know why. Good there. Remember yesterday, it was talking about that.
Is it 8:59?
55. Go ahead. Just tap. Hello?
Good morning. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We can't hear you.
Hello?
All right, now we,
I can't hear them.
can you hear me?
I'm sorry, sir. I can't even hear you.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Hold on. 1 second. The officer is about to get somebody to fix it. 1 second. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
All right, I can see it. I can see you shaking. He's shaking his head now. They can hear me.
Can he hear you?
All right, he said 1 second.
Can you
I
hear
can't
us?
hear anything. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's your problem. Plug in the headset.
I think someone is coming. Excuse me, they can't hear me. They can hear me, but I can't hear them at all.
Nobody there, so I can't even.
Nah, they just went, they blanked out. It wasn't on. They have a guy right here. There they go.
Okay, can they hear you?
Can you still hear me?
Can still hear you.
Let's see. He can hear me.
Turn the volume up on your computer.
Okay. Is that 100?
Can you hear us now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right, the
Thank
Committee
you.
on Parole, the Committee on Parole is called to order. Today's date is April 23rd, 2025, and the time is 9 a.m. My name is Danny Barra, serving as your chairman today. My colleagues today on the panel are Mr. Tillis to my left, Mr. Freeman to my right.
All right, how y'all doing?
The panel at DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge, headquarters staff, please introduce yourself for the record.
Whitney Trotsmeyer.
Francis Avenue.
Today, our remote location is Franklin Parish Detention Center. Would the staff there at Franklin introduce yourselves for the record?
Deputy Mason Wright.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, man.
Mr. Myers,
Yes, sir.
could you please introduce yourself, stating your full name and your DOC number.
My name is Jonathan Terrell Myers, and my DOC number is 524-486.
All right, I'm going to give you a brief explanation of the process. We're going to read some information to the record, ask you to verify it.
Yes,
We're going to
sir.
give you a chance to speak. We're going to ask the warden to give us some information about you. We're going to allow 3 people in support, 3 people in opposition, if they have that many. We're going to have the district attorney, and then we're going to conduct a parole interview.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's begin. Today we have for parole consideration, Jonathan Myers, DOC number 524-486, who's a first felony offender, who has been convicted of forcible rape, and on May 29th, 2007, was sentenced to serve 20 years in Jefferson Parish Jail. Your parole eligibility date is March 24th of 13. Good time, you're not eligible for that. Your full term date is 7/27/26. That sounds correct to you, Mr. Myers?
Yes, sir. Correct.
All right. So tell us why you think you deserve to be released today, and what did you do to get yourself in this kind of trouble?
Well, basically, I fought through trials, and so I haven't got to respond. And throughout these years, I've just been a person that's been very productive. I kept work. I had steady work ethics. I joined college programs. Corona shut it down within months of being able to get a degree. But I'm a master barber. I have many trades. I'm very productive, and I'm a good, honest person. And I made bad decisions. And I know I was in a relationship, and it just didn't work the way that I thought it would have worked, because she was older, I was younger, and the decisions that I made throughout life, it just jeopardized and put me in the position that I'm in today. But I always knew that I had to fight back and say that I have to remain innocent. And I fought hard. I fought in trial, and I lost. It was a non-unanimous jury, and I still haven't went back to court for that. But today I understand that there are victims in society, and I understand that greatly. And I know hurt people, and I just need another opportunity. I've been down for 19 years, and I have loved ones I lost, and I never attended any of their funerals. My grandmother's ill, and I just need this opportunity. I don't need another chance. I just need a chance to be able to prove that I could do it. I could do it again. I could be a productive citizen. I continue. I'm a trustee now. I have a job. Like I said, I cut the staff hair. I cut the inmates' hair, and I've been doing it for quite some time. And I work hard, and I understand that Joanna was hurt. That's her name, Joanna Skinner. She was hurt, and I understand. I feel for her, and I'm not upset with her. I'm not in a position to be angry, because after all this time heals all wounds, and I hope she's not still upset that the situation that we've been through, because I knew she was hurt before I met her. And I was hurt, and we just had to work through it. And like I said, I made a lot of bad decisions, and I just wish that it didn't turn out the way that it turned out. But through time, I healed, and I hope she healed, because it's been a very long time. And I talk to my grandmother every day, and I tell her, I said, time heals all wounds, and they still love her. They still believe in us. I got a good family. I got strong family support. They may not be here today. It's because I've been denied so many times for reasons that I don't understand. I took the program and I was kicked out the program because I was untimely transferred, and I have no control over that. And I participated in Excel, and they transferred me in 17 to this facility. And I wrote numerous letters to the parole board that explained it, that I was transferred untimely and I was at the final stage of completing the program. And I did it because my family wanted me to take the program. And for years, I denied the program because I felt like I had to fight the court system and go back and forth, and I didn't feel fair. But I told them, I said, well, if y'all need me to do it, then I'll take it. And I took it and I excelled and I completed them. And then just one day they just transferred me up, and I tried to get back in the program, and they wouldn't put me back in the program because of the facility that I went to. They didn't offer it. And for years, even when I was transferred to Natchitoches to take the college program, the Ashland University program, I asked did they have the BETG, I think that's called of it. I asked them did they have the program so I could continue, so I could be able to obtain the parole. And in 19, I asked them, what they said they didn't offer it. So then I received a letter from the parole board, and they stated that I was denied because I needed rehabilitation skills more, and I needed reprogramming. But I was completing the program. I just was transferred, and I was trying to get them to understand that I tried, and I got shipped. And well, I was, like I said, I was denied, and for years I have been trying, and I wrote letters, numerous. I'm pretty sure y'all have it on file. I wrote numerous letters, and I didn't get the response that I needed because I was never transferred or put back in the program. So I took the college program. I kept work. I always had work, and then Corona came during the time that I was in the college program, and they shut the program down from Natchitoches, and they shut it down. So now they just kicked me out the program and shipped me back up here. And I was within months of receiving my associate degree. But like I said, I have many trades. And I work and I cut the officers here. I built a relationship with the officers here because they're good people and they understand us. And they treat us like human beings, and that's what I needed. I didn't want to be no monster. I didn't want to be treated as a monster. I wanted to be treated as a man. Because even though I made a bad decision in life, I still wanted to be a man, and they brought that back to me. And they showed me, the wardens, the staff, they showed me I never had an incident with any of these officers. And I said I wanted to be, they made a difference in just the years that I was here. They made and I made a turnaround. And like I kept work, and they gave me an opportunity. These were the only ones that wanted to give me an opportunity, because everywhere I went, I had to fight to get a job. And once I got the job, I stayed there. I worked hard. I never got a bad review from work ethics. I always worked hard, and everybody knew me. Everybody know, and I'm a mentor, and I teach people. I said, you don't have to. They got younger guys that's here now, and they make mistakes and they make bad decisions, and I show them that you have to be better than that. You have to be better than what the system. The system is broken, and it can be fixed, but we have to fix it, and we need to help each other. And I help whites, blacks. I help all. It may not be documented, but I have saved lives. I have changed lives. I have mentored kids. I have helped people get educations, but like I said, it might not never be documented, but it was done. Honestly, it was done. And any officer here, you can contact anyone and they'll tell you the same. I have changed. I am a better person. I am a stronger person. I have morals, and I have respect. And I understand, like I said, I understand there are many victims out there that in society, and I understand them. And I've met victims in jail. It seemed like the system then weaponized it to the point where we, even as the accused, become victims. And I understand that as well. And I've seen many inmates that become victims to the system. And I try to change it. I just try to do as much as I can. Y'all not here with me every day, and I understand that. And I know y'all have a job to do, and I respect that. But I have changed, and I promise you, you give me the opportunity, I will show you. Not only tell you, I will show you that I can be a productive citizen, no matter what the charge is. I'm gonna still be the person that I am. I have not changed. I am not a monster. I'm not. I'm just a person that I want to be respected. I want to be a person known for change. I want to be a person that's known for help. And that's what I tried. When I met Joanna, she told me she was hurt. And in the beginning, I wanted to be there for her and her kids. And I helped her. And she can even tell you herself, I was there, Katrina and all. It's just that we fell on bad terms. It just didn't work out like I thought it was. And that's relationship. I've been in prison for a relationship because I was in my very first interracial relationship. I had never been with a white female before. And I was learning, not saying I'm not trying to justify what she said might have happened. I'm just saying that I have never been in that experience. And we went through racism together. And I still fought. And I still stayed with her. But it didn't work. It didn't work. I tried. And she tried. She tried to work. Even when I tried to give up and said, nah, I can't do it no more. And I didn't have any kids. And I had to be a father to her kids. And I was there for them. And she can explain that to you as well. I was there. I was a good person. And I'm still that great person that I'm going to be once I be released. And I have to do whatever I have to do. Whatever I have to do to prove to y'all will see. I promise you. I keep my word. And I will show you that I'm that person that need to be there. Many people have came to prison and didn't get the opportunity to show you that they could do better. I want to do better. I want to open up businesses. I want to be able to get this expunged off my record so I could be able to show my family, if I decide to have kids later on in life, to show them that, man, your father went through this. I never had kids, but I had a lot of stepkids. And I love them, and I still love her kids. And I would never do any harm to her, I promise. And to be honest, I would appreciate that y'all be able to monitor whatever I have to do because I don't never want to come back to jail, ever in life. So if I have somebody to monitor me, at least I know I'm safe because I have a target on my back. Now, when I get home, I have to do this and do that and have to register. I understand it, but I'm willing to do this for my family. I have to do it because they need me. My grandmother just was telling me about I have to fix her roof because my brother too large to fix it. He 325 pounds. So she need me there. And I need her. And she been here for 19 years and she didn't break. And my mom, I need it. I deserve it. I promise you, I deserve it. Just look at the records and see, look at the letters that I wrote, and you will see that I deserve it. It was a missed opportunity. They didn't catch it. I just asked them to see it. And I tried every chance I got to get a certificate. I mailed it to you all. Every chance that I got to write a letter to tell them that I wasn't getting the fair treatment, to being able to be placed back in the program that I didn't want to attend.
All right, you're going back to the same.
Oh, all right.
We all understand the problem you got.
All right, I understand. I'm sorry. And I tried as much as I can do. And I'm still trying. And I spoke to the head warden at this facility, and I cut his brother hair all the time. And he said, man, you have to believe in yourself. And for me to make it. And I believe. And I know I can do it. And I will do it. I'm going to be that example. I'm going to be to show the system that recidivism won't lie with me. I'm going to stay out there. And I guess that's about it.
That was a lot. That was a lot. Sounds good too. Thank you.
Thank you all.
I noticed that we don't have any attorney representing you today, so we're going to move on to the warden or staff member there to tell us what they have to say about your behavior in prison and
The warden?
verify any of those.
Well, I only have Mr. Mason right here. I know him from working pad. I didn't know that the warden had to be here. I'm sorry.
He doesn't have to be there. Can Mr. Mason give us any insight about
You need me
your
to
behavior
move?
in prison? You don't have to move.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You sit down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We can see you, Mr. Mason.
All right.
Yes, sir. My name is Deputy Mason Wright. I work on a different shift. I'm sitting in today for a field position. And I do not usually work on this shift. I usually work opposite of Mr. Myers here.
Okay.
And I don't know him too well, but I do know that he is a good dude and he does a good job cutting hair. And as long as I've been here, which is 2 years, he's been very productive, never doing anything bad, never causing any kind of problems, unlike other inmates. But if you would like for me to go grab someone who is on this shift and who does work here and knows him, I can, absolutely.
No, you're fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Mace.
Yes, sir.
Okay, today we have one person to testify in opposition, which is the victim of the case. And you tell us what you gotta say.
I'd like to read from my daughter before I talk to you, please. I am Alexis, Joanna's daughter, and an indirect victim of Jonathan Myers, who I came to know as Rock. When I found out that Rock might be released, all the trauma this man has caused flooded back in, and I cried. All over again, I feared not only the life of my mother, but the lives he may impact in the future. My mom tried to get away from this man on several occasions leading up to the crime that got him convicted. Before ending their relationship, I watched him throw my brother and I's TVs that he bought for us months prior in a rage across the hall, smashed it to pieces while arguing. My brother was about 4 years old and present. He was terrified. I was terrified. I remember that day vividly. After another fight, he showed up, pushed his way in the front door, and threw my mother to the ground, ultimately breaking her arm. As a 9-10-year-old hearing her mother screaming, I tried to find out what I could and hid it behind my back, ready to defend my mother. I saw her crying on the floor and him standing over her. She told me she would be okay and go to my room. My brother and I sat with her all night in the hospital. For months following, we stalked my mother. We would come home and he had broken in. Sometimes we would catch him hiding behind things in the house. We feared even sleeping at night. Home was not a safe place for us. Why would I feel safe? He said on several occasions when he raged that if he ever called the cops, if she ever called the cops, he would kill her. And he showed me his gun in his room, and we believed that he would. Ultimately, his terror over our house ended with him brutally raping my mother at night with her children sleeping, being threatened for her murder in front of us if she screamed. You can imagine how that traumatic event affected my mother and long-term affected us. I fear for her safety and the safety of future women. Anything less than the full 20 years is irrefutably unsatisfactory, not a moment earlier. I pray that he has asked the Lord's forgiveness because I have not forgiven him. And I pray that when his inevitable release comes, that he does the right thing and leaves us alone. I pray he never harms another woman, another child, another family. 20 years is not enough for the inhumane crimes he committed against my family. What I had to go through as a young child, no child should have to go through. I was in a relationship with him and I ended it. And he stalked me for 6 months. I found him in my house multiple times. Called the police. He broke into my house, dragged me down the hall by my hair, and he raped and sodomized me. And told me he would kill me if I screamed, and woke up my children. And then after everything was over, he made me shower to try to wipe off the evidence. And then he left like nothing ever happened. He's never admitted what he's done. He's never taken accountability for his actions. Clearly, he has never done any of the programs that a sex offender should do. I just don't feel like I would be safe if he got out. I know eventually he's going to be out, but I don't feel safe at all. I've felt safe for the last 19 years with him. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. We have law enforcement comments to put on the record, which we have the judge is opposed, the district attorney's office is going to speak shortly, the sheriff is opposed, and the attorney general's office is opposed. So now would be the time for Mr. Randall Myers with the district attorney's office to let us know what he has to say about this case.
Good morning, Randall Myers, Assistant DA, Jefferson Parish. We are strongly opposed to his request for parole. Mr. Myers said a lot, and my take on his statements show that he has not accepted the fact that he committed a crime. He's got no remorse for the crime that he committed. Listening between the lines, it seems to me that he thinks because he was in a relationship with the victim that he couldn't rape her. But the fact of the matter is, he raped her on numerous occasions. Prior to that, he beat her. He's a violent individual who needs to remain in jail for the entirety of his sentence. In the 9 years prior, the first 9 years of his incarceration, took no programs. After 17, after that in 2017, I believe it is, he began taking some programs, and he took one anger management course, 100 hours, and living in balance 1 and 2. Don't see any sex offender treatment that he has completed, although the annual assessment says that he is enrolled in sex offender treatment. Annual assessment also states that he has not completed a 12-step program, although he did complete substance abuse with the Living in Balance program. So with the very, very strong victim opposition, the violent nature of Mr. Myers, his lack of remorse, and his failure to accept what he has done, we are strongly opposed to his release.
Thank you, Mr. Myers. All right, your case has been assigned to Board Member Freeman, who's going to cast the first vote and begin your interview. So we'll start with the interview.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Myers. Mr. Myers, let's get to the heart of it. Why haven't we taken sex offender classes?
I have participated. I took the program in 2016, and as I was taking the program, and I was in it within for a year. I've completed 3 phases of it. And the final phase, I was transferred September of 2017, while I was still in the program, to a facility that didn't offer the program. And I wrote numerous letters to your board stating that I was transferred untimely while I was participating in the program. And once after being here for 2 years, I was transferred to the Natchez prison to take the college program. And I excelled in that. I made the dean list. I excelled, and I was kicked out of that because of the corona outbreak in March of 2020 because the program was canceled.
Right. Where did you take that sex offender treatment at?
In Rayburn facility. I was at the Rayburn, that was the BB60 Rayburn.
Okay, because we have no verification that you've taken any substance abuse.
I finished 3 phases. I sent the certificates. It's on file. I sent all 3 certificates to your facility. 2016, and the last.
I'm looking at your certificates, and we got, like Mr. Myers said, we have Living in Balance in 2016, phase 1, phase 2 in 2017, anger management 2016. There's no mention of any sex offender treatment in the record.
I took it. It was the BETG program. I finished 3 of the 4 phases.
It's 4 phases, so we're gonna have to try to look into that.
Thank you, man. It's there. It's there. I sent the certificates.
Okay. So what did you learn from victim awareness? Did you take victim awareness? I see you had a little bit of it in your 100 hours.
Yes, sir. I took reentry as well. I completed reentry and victim awareness. I learned a lot about different victims, the outcome, the hurt that it does to family members. I learned the hurt that it could be on both sides, the accused as well as the victims.
Okay. Where do you plan to live and work if you get out?
My grandmother has a house that's in Wagaman, Louisiana. And which could work, I have many trades, and I have excellent work history. If someone willing to hire me, I'll be willing to work anywhere, wherever, to make sure I'll be able to pay whatever fees I have to pay or whatever I have to do.
Well, did you ever take drugs or use drugs?
No, sir. I'm not a drug addict.
Okay, were you a big drinker or not?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you ever get sent to Steve Hoyle?
Steve Hart, sir? I couldn't hear you say
Hart.
Steve. No,
You never went to Steve Hall?
No, no, sir. I just took most of my certificates came from Rayburn facility, the old WCI.
And I also noticed that on your static 99, you scored a 2, which is a moderate risk. So I want to note that for the record. And I have no further questions.
Okay, thank you.
I heard you say earlier that that you were innocent.
Yes, sir.
Would you explain that to me, Mr. Myers?
Yes, sir. And when I actually had 2 trials. I was acquitted of second-degree battery in Jefferson Parish with a judge by the name of Judge Bench. I had a jury trial. And the first trial I was acquitted, but I also had the other charge, the forcible rape charge. But when I went to trial for the forcible rape charge, they took away my defense. The judge, she was found guilty on corrupt charges, Judge Bench. And she took away the fundamental mechanism to be able to win the trial. And I was not I don't want to get on the racist kick, but I had an all-white jury, and I only had 1 black juror that voted to acquit, which made it non-unanimous. And in
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yes, sir.
What I'm asking you is, did you do what you were charged with?
No, sir. No, sir. And I proved it in trial, and I proved it. It just, I didn't have a fair chance. It wasn't a fair and impartial trial, and I fought. And I understand we did have a toxic relationship. I understand that. And and I admitted to that. Anything that I have done, I have admitted to it. But I can't sit back and accept that. I can't accept a forcible rape charge when I know I didn't. And I understand that she may be hurting. And like, I think that was Alexis. Alexis said, we have been in times where that it was just toxic, and I was still young, and I admitted to that. And I explained that to Alexis because it just wasn't on my part. It was on both our parts because we was just in a bad relationship. She had just divorced her husband. Her husband had just molested his daughter and his niece, and I was there to fight for them. And I said, man, I can't do it. It was too much pressure on me. It was too much. Like I said, I didn't have kids, but I treated Alexis and LG, her kids, fairly. And I loved them. And they know that. They know that. And I understand they have to protect their mom. And I can see that. I have a mother. And I do whatever my mom need me to do to protect her. And I understand that. And I am remorseful because I have met true victims. And I understand that Joanna been hurt. I know Joanna been hurt, and she explained it to me, and I accept it because in the beginning.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
I have no more questions.
I see Mr. Myers was shaking his head during some of his testimony. Can you add to, or you have anything you wanted to add to what he just said about the trial?
You know, the only thing, I mean, he was tried and convicted of the offense. The only thing really is that he made a comment of Judge Ben's being removed from the bench, and it kind of sounded like related to his charge. She was removed from the bench, but it had nothing to do with anything related to his charge.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have no questions. Are you ready to vote?
I'd like to go into executive session.
I'll second.
We have a motion for executive session in a second.
Mr. Tillis,
Yes.
Mr. Barrow,
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
We're gonna go into executive session. We'll be back shortly.
All right. Thank you very much. What I have to do? Oh, man, they're not even understanding.
All right, we are finished with executive session and we're back into the hearing and the board is ready to vote. Do I have to have a roll call? Come on.
Mr. Tillis,
Yes.
Mr. Vara,
Yes.
Mr. Freeman,
Yes.
All right, the board is now ready to vote. We'll begin with Mr. Freeman, who was assigned the case.
Okay, Mr. Myers, you say you took the sex offender classes. I see where you were denied before for not taking them. On our records, it says you're enrolled now, which obviously you're not. Until I see those sex offender classes, today before that, I was thinking about, I wanted you on supervision so we could keep you away from the victim. And the probation officers would be watching you and making sure you did everything. But until you finish those classes, I can't vote for you today. So my vote is to deny.
Mr. Tillis.
I concur with Mr. Freeman.
And I'm gonna concur with Mr. Freeman, but I'm gonna also make a recommendation that they move you from where you're at to a place where you can complete the sex offender classes. And then once you do that, you will shorten your time up a little bit with the credit. No, you won't. No, you won't shorten your time, but you do need to take the class. So as far as today goes, today your parole has been denied. And this is gonna conclude our business at Franklin Parish Detention Center. Thank you.
He's not up yet. Once he does. But the board isn't on yet. They are over here. Okay, so when they come on, because no one else can hear us.
The Committee on Parole is called to order. Today's date is April 23rd, 2025, and the time is 9:46 a.m. Can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Right. My name is Danny Bauer. I'll serve as your chairman today, and my colleagues on today's panel are Mr. Tillis to my left and Mr. Freeman to my right. The panel is at headquarters in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Would the staff please introduce yourself?
Winnie Chancellor, Shakira McGrath.
Today, our remote location is Richland Parish Detention Center. Would the staff at Richland please introduce yourself for the record?
It's LSP. Is that Angola?
Louisiana State. Oh, you at Angola?
Yeah. LSP.
Okay, our remote location is Louisiana State Penitentiary at Angola. Would the staff there please introduce themselves? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? See? Well, maybe they didn't hear me mess up.
Can you hear us now? Can you hear us?
Oh, Richland
We're on
Parish.
the phone, but they can hear us, we can hear them.
Okay, y'all can hear us, we can't hear you. Okay.
I can't hear him. I need some help. Okay.
They're fine, we're fine, they, is something over. Where Angola, yeah, we're good.
All right. Today, our remote location is Louisiana State Penitentiary. Can you hear us there?
We can't hear them.
Today, our remote location is Louisiana State
We can't
Penitentiary.
hear them.
Can you hear us?
They're having problems at Angola.
They-
Can you hear us now?
Can y'all hear us now?
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
Sorry about the inconvenience.
No problem, no problem. Today, our remote location is Louisiana State Penitentiary. Would the staff at LSP please introduce yourself for the record?
Yes, sir. Good morning. I'm Darrell Vanoy. I'm the warden.
Reginald Admiral, classification.
Carmen Shipley, inmate records. Jody Sturgeon, program consultant.
That's all.
Thank you. Mr. Cox, would you
Yes, sir.
please introduce yourself by stating your full name and DOC number for the record? Oh,
My name is Vernon Cox, DOC 86813.
all right. I'm gonna give you a brief summary of the process. Today, I'm gonna read you some information, ask you to verify it. We're gonna give you a chance to speak and tell us what caused your incarceration and why you think you should get out. We're gonna ask the warden a couple of questions. We're gonna allow the public comments. We're gonna ask the district attorney to comment. We're gonna give your attorney a chance to speak. And so let's begin. Today we have for parole consideration Vernon Cox, DOC number 86813, who's a 6th felony offender who was convicted of second-degree murder at a trial by jury and sentenced to life. He appealed that sentence and was resentenced to 35 years for manslaughter in Natchitoches Parish. Your parole eligibility date is August 1st, 21. You're not eligible for good time, and your full term date is November 15th, 2034. Does that sound correct to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Now we're going to ask you to tell us, what did you do to get yourself in trouble, and what did you do since to convince us that you deserve a release?
I got myself in trouble. My ex-wife asked me to kill her husband. I was living in Houston, Texas during the time when she brought my kids to see me, and I told her no. By October of '99, I was living in Natchitoches, Louisiana. Around about a couple of days before Halloween, I seen her at a service station. And I seen the car, so I went over and tapped on the window. When she turned around, I seen she was beaten pretty bad. And I asked her who did it, and she said her husband. And she said, she asked me again when I killed him, her husband. That's when I told her to set up a hunting trip for squirrel season, which was in November. And we went in the woods, and that's where I killed Mr. Seitz.
Okay. And what have you done since then that you think you should be granted your release?
But since then, I have went through programs and such as cleansing screen, such as NAACA, Anger Managed Victim Impact, TPUCO, and Thinking for a Change, and substance abuse.
Anything else you want to say? This is your chance.
Yes, once again, I'm here to ask for the board for mercy for taking the life of Mr. William Seitz, and Mr. William Seitz did not deserve to die. And I just pray and ask the family for forgiveness, and I ask the board for mercy.
Gotcha. All right. You have an attorney representing you, Mr. Dodge. Do you want to speak now, or you want to speak later? What he said.
I can speak now, sir.
Okay, go ahead. It's your
Okay, I'm William Dice up here in Natchitoches, Louisiana, and I represent Mr. Vernon Cox. His family members are here. His sister works for me, and his other sister works for me also. Good people, solid people. They live here in Natchitoches, and he has a place to live. One of the things I think the board needs to know that he is was a Marine. He successfully completed service in the United States of America, and he has undergone a number of classes. He shows his remorse. He has been through the reentry program. He's certification of completion. He has no write-ups. He has completed all things, as I said, no write-ups, and he wants to get out and be a good citizen. We have him a job at Johnny's Seafood. He can work in the kitchen, work wherever they say. And we also have him a place to live with his two sisters here in Natchitoches. We had a hearing 2 or 3 years ago, and they basically said, we want to grant you parole, but you have to go through the reentry program. So what is also very important to know is he has prostate cancer. He has prostate cancer. And from all indications, and those documents are in the medical records are in your record. It appears from reading the medical that the next thing they're going to do is an MRI. And according to the prostate cancer, so far, Gleason, that there's an immediate risk for spread of the cancer growing and spreading. So here we have, what happened is wrong. We get it. But he has completed all these programs. He has no write-ups. He has family support. His sister is here to testify, if you will allow her to testify. Her name is Olivia Hardison. He's been in jail a long time. He's 67 years old, and he's got prostate cancer, and he wants to come home and be with his family. So having said all that, parole, of course, would be where he would be monitored by local probation and parole. There's a number, we have sent all this to the board. There's all these programs he's gone through. He has no write-ups, and of course, he's good. He had an award of Good Conduct Medal after serving in the United States Marine Corps. So yes, we get the negative. We get what happened, and he wants a chance to be at home with his family. He wants to be able to work, and he of course would be, we believe, a good citizen and would not pose. And I get your job. He would not pose a danger to society. And he also has hepatitis. He has liver damage, and he has a hematologist request to see a doctor. In fact, they've been taking him down to LSU in New Orleans for these tests. And he also has PST breathing treatments. So we got an elderly guy, 67 years old. I mean, I'm 70, but he's 67, and he will request that y'all give him opportunity to come home under whatever rules and guidelines you would require him to abide by. I basically, this little seafood place is right down the street. I basically said, Vernon, you get out, you're gonna have to go to work, behave yourself, report, and do whatever you need, and live there with your sisters on Old Romaline Road here in Natchitoches. So I'll take any questions from the board if you have any.
No, sir.
Nope, thank you, Mr. Donna.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll next hear from Elvina Hardison, assistant.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You're on mute.
Can't hear you.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm glad I've been given this opportunity to speak on behalf of my brother. My name is Olivia Hardison, and I was 35 years old when Vernon was taken into custody in 1999 and later sentenced. I'm now 60, and I'm speaking instead of my siblings and in honor of our late parents, Mary Lee Cox, our mother, and Al J. Cox, our father, or as my dad would say, the block. My parents, they were known in the community as servants and good people. Our father, he was a good Samaritan, helping people in spite of their race, young and old, and we still live in that legacy here today in the community. They prayed over this situation up until they left this world, and now we've been given that mantle to continue to pray. We know Vernon has been incarcerated for 25 years for this, this crime that he was a part of. And I know through all the seasons that he has been in, he didn't run from this, but he has acknowledged what he's done and the weight that was carried. I've seen a change in his life. Not only has this change impacted him, but it impacted those that were serving and doing time around him at the same time as he. And even from the last parole hearing that was in 2022, where the board decided not to release him because he had not completed rehabilitation and transitional programs to prepare him for reentry. But this didn't stop him. This didn't break him, but it made him become intentional. He took the parole board's words seriously, and people were put in place to help him complete the internal and external steps that was needed to grow him. He's taken his classes, he sought additional counseling, and most of all, he was determined and committed to become better, not bitter, because he was denied during that time. You know, there's a quote by Michelangelo that says, every block of stone has a statue in it, inside it, and it is the task of the sculptor to discover it. This has been Vernon's journey. These past 25 years, life has chipped away at the stony part of who he is, and he's faced this through discipline, sorrow, truth, and yes, grace. So what you see now, the man you see now, is no longer just that man who made those wrong choices, but he's a man that is now purposed and driven. And yes, he's facing recent medical issues. Now, he's not seeking to be free just for himself, but we've talked about him creating a platform for him to give back and become a leader amongst those young and at risk that lives in Natchitoches, that he will be able to identify with his story. See, he can reach some young men that are standing on that same ledge where he once stood. And he wants to be able to use what he's been through to help guide them, from keeping them from losing themselves and becoming a mentor, so they can have something to build a foundation for their future on. We're not here to forget the past, but we believe that what Vernon is now asking, he's not walking away from accountability, but he's asking to walk into his purpose. So today we're asking this board not only to see Vernon's past, but to see his present. Yes, he has to deal with his medical issues, but the man that you're seeing now has been revealed through years of chiseling, what he's come through. And my father, as he called himself, was the block, but now Vernon has become a chip off the block. And I'm pretty sure as he goes forth, he will continue to walk in his father's legacy to help and assist the community. So we respectfully ask for this board to show mercy, not dismiss injustice, but to extend grace to a man that has been reshaped. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your service. And we pray that through your decisions with clarity, discernment, and compassion, that you will make your decision.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we're gonna ask Warden Bernard if he can tell us about his behavior there at LSP. And
Yes,
any-
sir. He hasn't been with us very long. He's here with us basically because he has some significant medical conditions, issues going on with him, but he is a trustee. His last write-up was in 2016, so it's been 9 years since he had a write-up. He's had programming Kairos, 100 hours, victim impact, TOPUCU, I don't know what that is, AA and NA, Thinking for Change, and Cage Your Rage, and his Tiger is Low. He's a trustee that works over at Camp C out of Bear Unit for us. kind of he's in a medical dorm, but he works every day. No problems. Very, very polite. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Warden. Sorry to cut you off, but you were done.
That's okay.
All right, we also have several people in opposition. We have Alice Hardison, the victim coordinator for the 10th Judicial District, who's opposed and on Zoom, not speaking. We have Betty Turner, a victim in a family victim member, on opposed, not speaking, on Zoom. Lorraine Flagg, a family member, opposed, on Zoom, not speaking. Celia Sneed, a family member, opposed, not speaking, on Zoom. Joyce Edwards, family member, opposed, not speaking, on Zoom. Michael Sneed, victim's nephew, opposed, on Zoom, not speaking. And William Clyde Sneed, victim's nephew, opposed, on Zoom, not speaking. We also have two people that will be speaking. The first is Mr. Billy Harrington with the 10th Judicial District Attorney's Office. He is opposed and speaking. Can we go to Mr. Harrison now? Harrington.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning. My office, as you know, and as you saw in my office, is strongly opposed to Mr. Cox's parole. Even though he pled guilty to manslaughter, he was originally convicted to degree. That was reversed naturally and then pled to manslaughter. So the facts of this case warranted originally a second-degree conviction, and this was a premeditated. I understand Mr. Cox, says he was asked to do this, but that's no excuse. And we support our family in this matter. My office stands behind the family and strongly object to his release.
Thank you very much. We also have a victim's family member who's in the panel there. Ms. Rose Hackey, would you speak? Tell us what you got to say about the release.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, first I would like to give honor to God for carrying us through all of this. My name is Rosie Williams Hackett, the niece of the late William Sykes. I come before you today with a heavy heart and a resolute purpose. I'm not just a family member of the victim, but as a voice for justice. My uncle was a kind and gentle soul who had lived a life full of love, wisdom, and service to those around him. His life was taken in an act of violence that not only robbed him of the remaining years, but also left an inevitable scar on our family and the community. My family and I are here to oppose the parole of Vernon Cox, the man who brutally murdered my 79-year-old uncle. This was not just a crime, it was an act of imaginable cruelty. My uncle was shot at close range in the back of the head. His body was discarded and left in the woods as if his life held no value. He was left to rot. He was stripped of his dignity and robbed of the peaceful years he had earned. The man who committed this crime made a choice to disregard the sanctity of life, to inflict pain, and to shatter the peace of the elderly man who posed no threat. This was not an accident or a moment of weakness. It was a deliberate act that cannot be undone. Vernon Cox has a history of criminal behavior marked by repeated incarceration and ongoing drug use. His actions have shown a pattern of disregard for the law, for human life, and for the safety of our community. Granting him parole will not only dishonor the memory of my uncle, but also endanger others. Granting parole to this individual would send a message that such an action can be forgiven or overlooked with time. It would determine the gravity of the crime and the value of my uncle's life. It would also place our community at risk, as the action of this individual have shown a blatant disregard for human life. The crime was not a momentary lapse in judgment. It was a deliberate and heinous act. My uncle was an elderly man, vulnerable and defenseless, and yet he was subject to violence that no one should ever endure. The pain and trauma inflicted on our family are immeasurable, and the thought of Vernon Cox walking free is a burden we cannot bear. Justice demands accountability. It demands that those who commit such atrocities face the full consequences of their actions. To release Vernon Cox would be to undermine the very principle of justice and to disregard the suffering he has caused. I urge the court to deny parole and to ensure that Vernon Cox remain incarcerated. This is not just about punishment. It is about protecting our community and honoring the life of a man who deserved so much better. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We also have strong law enforcement opposition, as you heard from the DA is opposed. The judge in this case is also opposed. The sheriff's office in this parish is also opposed, and the attorney general's office is also opposed. So there's strong law enforcement opposition to this release. Mr. Tillis has been assigned this case, so he's going to begin an interview and ask the first question.
Good morning, Mr. Cox. How are you?
Good morning.
You answered a lot of my questions in your statement, and I commend you for all of the programs and stuff that you've gone through, and your service to the country, and I hope that you continue doing well at your time. But I have no more questions.
I have a few. Okay, Mr. Cox, so you went to Houston. She came to Houston with your kids, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did y'all rekindle y'all relationship at that time?
No, sir.
I thought y'all rekindled.
No, sir.
Okay.
I never rekindled with her.
Okay, because I know she came down there and asked you to go kill her husband, and other family members also said she had come ask you to do that. Okay, weren't you previously married to the victim?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how many children y'all had together?
3 altogether. 1 died.
All right. And whose gun did you shoot him with?
My girlfriend gun.
Okay, who got the gun?
girl I
You
was
got the
staying
gun or
with.
she gave you the gun?
I had got the gun.
Okay, who's your girlfriend?
During that time was Joanne Williams.
So you got a gun from the lady you were dating
Yes,
to
sir.
go shoot your ex-wife's husband.
I didn't understand what you say, sir.
So you got a gun from the girl you were dating to go shoot your ex-wife's husband.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'm looking at your criminal history. You're a 6th felony offender. I see you had an armed robbery, which you did 5 years for. You got charged with possession of a firearm after that. But then I also see that you had an aggravated robbery in Texas. What was that about?
I went to trial and found not guilty.
Okay. But what they alleged you had done?
Sir?
What did they have
I couldn't hear-
alleged you had done? What they were saying you done?
Well, they used my past and said I had committed a robbery, which I didn't. I was in Natchitoches on that day.
Okay. Okay, I have no further question.
I just have one question. What programs
Yes,
have you
sir.
completed since the last hearing on June 24th? What programs did you complete
June
after that hearing?
Right now I'm still in substance abuse. I retook substance abuse with it, the class I'm taking right now.
So you have not completed any new programs since that hearing? Completed.
Just got here, I just got here, in, February. And I took all the classes I could take where I was at.
Okay.
You have another question? You said earlier you went through Kairos Ministry.
Yes, sir.
You did.
Carros and Cleansing School. Yes, sir.
Kairos,
Carros and Cleansing School.
okay, where did you take Kairos? I mean, where did you go through Kairos at? In Angola?
At Winfield. At Winfield.
That's good. That's good. I have no more questions.
All right. With no more questions, it's now time to vote. We'll begin with Mr. Tillis, who's assigned the case with the first vote.
Mr. Cox, I see the remorsefulness in you, and I'm glad you've taken a lot of classes, and especially you've gone through Kairos. And if you remember, the choices we make are the choices that we have to live with.
Yes, sir.
My vote today is going to be to deny because a life was taken, and in a heinous way, in my opinion. But I don't think you've served enough time, and my vote's to deny today.
Mr. Freeman?
Okay, Mr. Cox, you know, you already received a big break. You were charged with second-degree murder, you were granted a new trial, and you pled guilty. You didn't even go to trial, so you pled, so you knew what time you were given. So, with your extensive criminal history, law enforcement, and victim opposition, my vote is to deny.
And I'm going to concur with both Mr. Tillis and Mr. Freeman for the same reasons and vote to deny parole request today. And this will conclude our business at Louisiana State Penitentiary. Thank you. 10:24.
Come on. You have to ask.
You
turn
don't
your
know.
camera on. You have to ask-
Put that camera.
You have to ask them to turn that camera.
Can y'all turn y'all camera on, please, Jackson Parish? Jackson Parish, can you please turn your camera on? Jackson Parish, can you hear me?
Feel safe now.
There we go.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
All right. The Committee on Parole is called to order. Today's date is April 23rd, 25, and the time is 10:35 a.m. Our remote location today is Jackson Parish Jail. Would the staff at Jackson Parish Jail please introduce themselves for the record?
Deputy Betty Pulig.
Thank you. Mr. Celeststeine, would you please introduce yourself for the record, stating your full name and DOC number?
My name is Troy Celeststeine, 457595, sir.
All right. Today we have for parole consideration Troy Celeststeine, DOC number 457595, who's a 7th felony offender who was convicted of contraband, 3 counts, violation, unauthorized use of a movable, habitual offender, possession of cocaine, 4th offense, and possession of cocaine. And was sentenced to serve a maximum of 26 years and 6 months. Your parole eligibility date is 3/22/15, which is passed. Your good term date is 6/21/30, and your full term date is 2/17/35. Does that information sound correct to you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, now I'm going to ask you the first question, and that is, what did you do to get yourself over there, and why do you think now's a good time for the parole board to decide to let you go?
What I do to get myself to Jackson Parish, sir?
Oh, to get yourself involved in all this trouble.
Well, sir, when I was a child, I reasoned as a child, and I grew up and I became an adult once. I have been locked up 16 years, sir.
Okay. So is there anything else you want to tell us about that?
Well, sir, with all due respect, I just learned from my mistakes and I take it one day at a time, sir.
Okay. How about Jackson Parish? Do y'all have any comments or anything you would like to add to this about his behavior or anything down there? How's he doing?
No, sir, he has had no incidents or no disciplinary while he's been here.
All right.
How long has he been there, ma'am?
I'll be right back. Let me get his exact.
Oh, you can proceed. I'll just get it.
Yes.
How long have you been in that area, in that prison?
I've been here. It's going on 5 months, sir. 5.5 months, or 4.5 months.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Okay.
6 months.
6 months.
Right at 6 months, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. All right. So today we have, in support of you, we have some people here to want to talk and some people who don't want to talk. We have Ianthea George. Hopefully I got that right. Here, your mother at headquarters, who is in favor of your release, but not speaking. Cornavia Celeststeine, which is your daughter, who's in support of your release, but not going to speak. And Cortavia Celeststeine, a cousin, who's in support and not going to speak. And we have Derek Celeststeine, an uncle, who is in support and will speak. So we would ask Derek to go to the podium and what he's got to tell us about Troy. Good
morning.
it's been a long journey for him. And I myself, I don't even know where to start. Even explaining about his release. At the end of the day, will be the decision made with y'all. My nephew he was a bad person too. I've done a lot of things, and over the years, he would call my phone, and over the years, he would ask me to be able to help him with this, help him with that. But through conversation, I would never do. I would just send money to his mother just to help him out in commissary, because I knew me getting a lawyer to help him. Well, I have my own business, and I have 2 companies, and but I get to that later. I knew helping him get a lawyer and me listening to him over the phone, it wasn't clicking to him that he was ready to come out. And so what I would do is I would send money to his mom for his commissary. And as the years passed, another 10 years, I would listen to him. And then finally, about 2 years ago, he got my attention when he called. And he said, "Uncle Derek," he said, "Todd," he said, "anything." He said, "Just help me." It touched me because I've been here before. Being rehabilitated, I'm a man that have been, and I'm a very successful man, married man with my wife and children. And I have 2 successful business, very, very highly successful business, because I have been rehabilitated, because I know what being tired is. I've been there before. And when he told me that, it touched me. And I called my brother, which he's going today. That was my in-between, because I live kind of far out from my sister. And so I would call my brother. I say, "Listen, I said, I think I'm gonna help Troy." He said, "What you see?" I said, "I hear." He said, "What you hear?" I said, "I hear." Inside of his voice, I said, "I hear his heart." I said, "I hear that he's making a change." I said, I say, "I can't be wrong here," but I said, "I don't believe so." I said, "But I'm willing to help out." So I started making phone calls. I started calling, and I gave him my word that I would have been there for him all through his situation. For his next parole, I told him I was gonna be there. And over the years, he had been asking me, I didn't want to be a part of it, because I knew then that was just a bunch of baloney, because I didn't been there already. I didn't heard baloney before, because I had been on the other side before. But that last time when he asked me that, I knew something had changed in him. And I knew that he was ready to make society his place for good. Yeah, I know he had children. I'm sure you already know that, so I never came to y'all and explain about his children. Far as him having a job, I have a place for him at my company. I have 2 of them. You can look them up, at least on the state level. Place to live. I own a lot of real estate. So if he doesn't go to his mom, he definitely have a place to come at one of our places, because my wife and I, we have a trailer park. We have other real estates. There's we do a lot in the community. I go to prisons, talk to people, to let them know about the things that he been through, that I've been through. So, but I'm only asking y'all to give him that chance, even if y'all put him on a monitor. You know, I would be really the right to be responsible partially in a manner to be able to help him. I mean, even pay for the monitor every month, you know, just to give him that opportunity one more time. Everybody deserves a chance. And I think in my heart, I believe that he had reached that part where he waited to be able to come back to society and be able to maintain him being out and doing a good job. But I'm, like I said, I'll be willing to give him that opportunity for us to work, for us a place to stay. And I have a lot of backing by a lot of other people that didn't come that's willing to make sure that happens. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. All right. We don't have anybody here to speak in opposition, but we do have some opposition. We have 5 judges that made no comment and 1 that was opposed. We have 2 district attorneys that had no comment and 2 of them that are opposed. We have 4 sheriffs and all 4 sheriffs are opposed. And That's the law enforcement opposition. So your case is assigned to me. I got a question for you, and is what programs did you complete since July 21st, 22, when you had that last hearing before the board? What did you complete since then?
I complete general management group, 12 steps sponsor group. I completed HRC, general managementship. I anger management feelings. And I completed CBI management.
So what specific substance abuse programs did you complete since then? Major.
Well, the two that's in 18, and I completed one at Riverbend.
Yeah, but not 18, not 18. Substance abuse is an ongoing problem. It didn't take you just a short period to get this amount of charges. I'm asking you, since that last hearing you had, what major substance abuse classes, if any, did you take? Because you obviously got a substance abuse problem. Would you agree with that?
That's the last completion I did, sir.
Okay, so you didn't do any more substance abuse classes since they did not in 2022?
Yes, sir. I've been getting shipped to different camps after different camps, sir.
All right. That was the only question I had. Mr. Freeman, you got any questions?
No, that was gonna be my question. Have you had any programs since 10/22? So you took a class since your last hearing?
Yes, sir. I took the
classes before your last hearing.
I took my last class hearing at Riverbend, sir.
And what year was that?
That was in 22. I got shipped from Riverbend and I completed substance abuse.
Okay.
Your uncle said that you won out. Have you changed? Have you dropped the drug charges? I mean, the drug habits?
Yes, sir. I have learned from other people's mistakes and also as well as mine, sir. And I have been incarcerated 16 summers, and I just ready to come home to be a father and a grandfather to my grandbabies.
You realize you need to, you have a problem, a drug problem. You do realize that. You think you have a drug problem?
No, sir. I have learned from my mistakes, sir. What up?
You don't think you have a drug problem? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You don't think you have a drug problem?
Well, I completed all classes. Yes, sir.
Okay, I have no more questions.
All right, are we ready to vote?
I am.
All right. Your case is assigned to me, so I'm gonna cast the first vote. Today, I'm gonna vote to grant you parole.
Thank you, sir.
In lieu of completion of a long-term substance abuse treatment program at Steve Hall. So you're gonna be shipped to Steve Hall for a long-term program, and then when you complete that program successfully, then you can be released.
Yes, sir.
Upon release, we're gonna put you on electronic monitoring for 1 year.
Yes, sir.
A curfew of 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Yes, sir.
And you're also gonna go work with your cousin or your uncle?
My uncle, sir.
And your uncle's gonna be like an assistant probation officer.
Yes, sir.
Between the probation officer, and he's gonna be able to check a lot of stuff with your uncle. I think your uncle's on the right direction, and maybe you can follow in his footsteps. That's
Yes,
my
sir.
vote, it's only one, so. Mr. Freeman?
Okay, now I'm very worried about your drug history. I really am. Once addict, you're always an addict. But I think that Steve Hall program or whatever program we put you in will help you. Now, I'm gonna say this, you had a bunch of write-ups for falling asleep in class. Don't fall asleep in class over there, because I can promise you they're gonna kick you out. And if you're kicked out, then we're gonna come back and we're gonna deny, or I'm gonna deny. So,
Yes, sir. And I
take advantage of this opportunity. I believe you. I think you're tired. People get tired.
Yes, sir.
And I think you're tired. So good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
I concur with Mr. Leroy.
All right, go successfully complete your class and we'll see you on the other side. Today, your
Thank you,
parole has
sir.
been granted conditionally, and this concludes our business at Jackson at 10:50 a.m.
When I get you better.
Huh? Well, no, slow down.
Wait, hold on.
The Committee on Parole is called to order. Today's date is April 23rd, 2025, and the time now is 11:03 a.m. We are resuming operations today at our remote location at West Feliciana Parish Jail. Would the staff at West Feliciana Parish Jail please introduce yourself for the record?
Bree Delaney, Facility Coordinator.
Thank you. Mr. Hawkins, please introduce yourself and give your full name and DOC number for the record.
Travis Hawkins, 422-927.
Thank you. Today we have for parole consideration Travis Hawkins, DOC number 422-927, who's a fourth felony offender, who was convicted of possession with intent to distribute cocaine, illegal carrying of a weapon, possession with intent to distribute cocaine, possession with intent to distribute methamphetamine, and possession with intent to distribute marijuana. And on July 10th, 19, and on January 15th of 20, was sentenced to serve 20 years hard labor total in Washington and East Baton Rouge parishes. Your parole eligibility date is 1/12/25. Your good time date is January 17th of 26. And your full term date would be January 13th of 40. Does that sound correct to you, Mr. Hawkins?
Sir.
All right. So go ahead, we'll start with you. Tell us what you did to get yourself in this kind of trouble and why, and then also tell us why you think that now is the time for the parole board to release you.
Yes, sir. I allowed myself to be succumbed by things that was going on around me due to my drug addiction and trying to provide other things for myself to continue that drug addiction. And being here, not just here in the Department of Corrections, gave me an opportunity to take my life from a liability to an asset. And I look forward to putting out the things that I've learned and put it into action, sir.
Steph, I don't remember your name, but do you have any comments or anything about his behavior down there at your facility?
So Travis has been with us since 8/4/22. He has had no write-ups. He has maintained a job since he's been here. And he is currently working now at Western Rivers.
Basically, he's been good with y'all.
Yes.
All right, thank you for your input. All right, I'm looking at the list. We have nobody here to speak on behalf or in favor of this release. So I'll just let you know that you do have some opposition for law enforcement. The East Baton Rouge and Washington sheriffs are opposed to your release. The Attorney General office is opposed to the release. The District Attorney's office in East Baton Rouge is opposed, and the Washington did not comment. So that opposition is on the record. Your case has been assigned to Mr. Tillis. He's going to ask you the question and cast the first vote today.
Good morning, Mr. Hawkins. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. How about yourself?
All right. What have you been doing to better yourself or classes for your drug addiction since you've been where you are?
I've taken AANA, Inside Outside Dad, Victim Awareness, Thinking for a Change. And I also joined the HOPE program in Concordia. And honestly, I stay maintaining a good job, just working and looking toward the future.
Which class do you like the best, and what did you learn from that class?
Inside Outside Dad, and I also like Thinking for a Change, sir. Thinking for a Change gave me an opportunity to actually look at things, not so much as right then, but just take a breath, think about things, make a wise decision.
If you're released, are you going to continue some of those classes to keep yourself drug-free?
There's two of them that I found that's available to me, and one is Thinking for a Change, and one is also NA. So, yes, sir, I do plan to continue those.
I have no more questions. Mr. Frank?
Let's see, Mr. Hawkins. Mr. Hawkins, have you taken your pre-release yet?
I went through the programs at Concordia.
The pre-release program?
Yes,
The
sir. I think it
$100
was,
pre-release.
no, sir. I don't recall paying $100.
Okay, because it's mandatory now, and I didn't see it on the record.
He said $100. He explained 100 hours.
Okay.
He thought you said $100.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes, sir. I took in Concordia. I took all the programs should be listed on my rap sheet if I'm not mistaken.
See it, the one that's not listed. Okay.
But they might not have it.
Probably. Do y'all have pre-release at that work release center?
He took it in 09.
No, sir.
He took $100 and $09.
So that'll still count. Okay.
Mhm.
And you've been saving any money since you've been working?
Yes, sir. I truly have. I've done very, very well. Kind of fortunate enough to get me a vehicle and pretty much just jump back into the workforce.
Okay, are you gonna stay with this job that you have now, or are you going?
No,
Okay.
yes, sir. I'm gonna stay with Western Rivers. I'm gonna stay with Western Rivers. I don't know if you guys
Got the letter
email.
from that was a very impressive letter that he wrote on your behalf.
Thank you, sir.
I'll say that. So he definitely thinks you're a hard worker and a good employee to keep around. So,
Yes.
I have no further questions.
I have none unless you have more. No. All right, we're ready to vote. We'll begin with Mr. Tillis, who is signed the case. Mr. Hawkins, my vote today is gonna be the grant due to the progress you've made, and I hope you continue to stay sober and keep your nose clean.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Hawkins, my vote is gonna be the same. You have a good time date of 1/17/26, so you'd have got out in 8 months anyway. So this way you get to go to your employer and make all the money yourself. They won't be cutting nothing out your check. So
Yes,
good
sir.
luck.
Thank you. Definitely gonna use it forward to a progress in their life.
All right, and I'm gonna vote to also grant, but I'm gonna add the condition that you have a substance abuse evaluation and follow any recommendations for treatment through the probation and parole office once you're out.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Hawkins, today your parole has been granted. This will conclude our business at West Feliciana Parish Jail at 11:11 a.m.
Thank you.
See,
The Committee on Parole is called to order. Today's date is April 23rd, 2025, and the time is 11:18 a.m. We're resuming at our remote location of Plaquemine Parish Detention Center. Would the staff at Plaquemine Parish please introduce yourself for the record? Is there anybody in the room with you?
He's on mute.
Nobody there?
He's muted too.
Oh, and you're on mute. That's the new.
He's coming at this point. Can you unmute, please?
Good morning.
Good morning. We were asking if the staff of Plaquemine who's with him today could introduce themselves. That would be you?
Deputy Sanji, a
All
part
right.
of Transportation Division.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Moreno, would you please state your full name and DOC number for the record?
My name is Ricardo Moreno. My DOC number is 558-322.
All right. Today we have for parole consideration, Ricardo Moreno, DOC number 558-322, who is a third felony offender who was convicted of simple burglary, habitual offender, simple burglary, and attempted simple burglary on March 20th of 2022 and was sentenced to serve 6 years hard labor in Jefferson Parish Jail. His parole eligibility date is March 30th of 2023. Good time date of 12/5/26 and a full term date of 10/1/27. Does that information sound right to you, Mr. Moreno?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, now I'm going to ask you to tell us, what did you do to get yourself into trouble over here? And what have you done for yourself since you're in jail that we would be good to release you today?
Yes, sir. I broke into a vehicle. Basically I broke the window on the car and I opened the door, looked in it, and then I left. What I've done since I've been here, I have my GED. I've obtained my GED. I've obtained my substance abuse certificate, living in balance 1 and 2. And I have 3 carpentry trade certificates, 1 for core. I have 1 for site safety orientation. And my last one's for CTEC, network cabling specialist. That's hooking up Wi-Fi and cable. And I'm currently enrolled in anger management Cajun Rage class, which ends on July 8th of this year.
All right. And I asked you what you did. You said you broke into a car. I see there's way more than a car, huh?
Yeah, well, one car I just threw a cinder block at the window, and then the other car I broke into it and looked into it. Now my other charge was in Metairie. I broke into a truck and I took a gun out of it, which somebody stole from me. That was my other charge.
3 times, right?
Yeah, it's three charges, 1 attempt and 2 simple burglaries.
All right. All right. I see that we have somebody wants to speak on your behalf, Norris Nash, who's here to support. We go to Mr. Nash. Is that Mr. Nash?
He's muted.
Please unmute.
Okay, are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, now.
Good. I am Pastor Nash, and I have been asked to represent Mr. Moreno. I have known him indirectly for the past couple of years, during which time I have mentored him spiritually, particularly when his mom died. I communicated with Chaplain Doyle, who is there, to try and get him to attend the funeral, and that failed. Although I was able to attend the funeral, he was not. I'll ask the board to consider this. He was denied parole at his first hearing. Oftentimes, when that happens, the guy may get very discouraged and his conduct turns totally negative. Not so with him. He realized what he needed to do, and he did it. He pursued one program after another. Not solely because he wanted to get out, but he realized that he had a great need for each of the programs he partook in and completed. Even to this day, he is still enrolled currently in another program. So I would ask the board to consider the fact that he has done everything. He has lived a model life with no disciplinary reports. To consider all of these things as a sign or as a cause to believe that he is ready. He has prepared himself, not just educationally, but skillfully as well. He is ready to be returned to his family and society and become a useful and productive member in both. So give him this chance. That is my request for Mr. Moreno. His father's health is depreciating rapidly. He has lost his mom. Let him go home. Give him this chance. And for that, I say thank you.
Thank you. All right. We have anybody with the jail staff that has any information to add to this? Anybody still with you in the room? No, it's okay. If they're not still there, don't worry about it. No. Okay. We do have some opposition to speak. We have Mr. Randall Mars. Mr. Mars, would you let us know what you got to say? Tell us.
Yes, sir. Randall Meyer, Assistant DA, Jefferson Parish. I don't have a strong opposition to Mr. Moreno. Looking at the record, the annual assessment indicates that he needs anger management, substance abuse treatment, although, and this was after he had completed the Living in Balance 1 and 2, indicating to me that he needs a little bit more work on the substance abuse treatment. It says he needs sex offender treatment, but I don't see any. He has no convictions on sex offenses, but there was a sexual battery of the infirm that was refused. I'm not sure if that's the reason for that recommendation or not. I think it can't hurt him to have a long-term substance abuse treatment program done and have him follow that. It appears from his record that that's an issue that he has. So, my biggest concern with Mr. Moreno is that he gets the programming that he needs to help him stay out of jail. Thanks.
Thank you. All right. We also have opposition from law enforcement, sheriff opposed, chief opposed, and attorney general opposed, and the judge with no comment. So cases assigned to me, we're trying to decide if questions are all answered. I think they are. As far as I can see, Mr.
I just have one. Where are you planning on living if you get out?
I'm gonna live in Harvey with my sister. It's on Chriswood Drive. I don't know the number of her house because she just bought it, but it's in Harvey with a 701.
You had a residence plan. Okay.
Excuse me, sir?
I just wanted to make sure you had a residence plan.
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Celeststeine, any questions? No questions. All right, that means we're ready to vote. Case is assigned to me, so I cast the first vote. I'm gonna vote to grant your parole conditionally on the condition that you complete the Steve Hall Substance Abuse Program before you release. Before you leave jail, you're gonna transfer you to Steve Hall, you're gonna complete that program and make sure all the monkeys off your back before we put you back on the street. We're gonna add a condition that you pay the victim restitution that was ordered by the sentencing court that you didn't pay when you was on probation. Probation officer gonna line that up, and that you complete anger management. And good luck to you. Mr. Freeman?
I concur.
I concur.
All right, this means your parole has been granted conditionally. You need to get over to the long-term substance abuse and get that done, and then you'll be released back to on supervision.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
luck to you. Hopefully you'll follow these conditions and not get yourself back in trouble.
Yes,
This
sir.
concludes our business today at the Plaquemine Parish Jail at 11:29 a.m.
I'm done.
Him that your reservation was not about going to Texas, but it was about the fact that the time would start over. And he said that he understood that, but he still maintained that you would have to sign it now before me, because any thing he issued regarding a judicial release no longer
The Committee on Parole is called to order. Today's date is April 23rd, 2025. The time is 11:30 a.m. We're resuming our hearings at a remote location at Riverbend Detention Center. Would the staff at Riverbend introduce yourself for the record?
My name is Lieutenant Jonikin.
Thank you. Thank you, Lieutenant. Thank you for hosting us. Mr. Cotlin, would you please introduce yourself for the record? We're giving me your full name and DOC number for the record.
DOC number 368375.
Okay. I'm going to give you a brief explanation of the process. I'll need you to verify some information that I'll read to you, and it'll give you a chance to speak. Let us know what you did to get yourself in trouble. We'll ask the warden for them to give us an update on you from the jail. We'll have public comments from supporters and against. We'll give a district attorney a chance to speak if one wants to, and then we'll conduct our interview. So today we have for parole consideration Dana Cotlin, DOC number 368375, who's a first felony offender who was convicted of manslaughter, 2 counts, amended from first-degree murder, 2 counts. And on May 24th, 1996, was sentenced to serve 25 years hard labor, each count consecutive in Calcasieu Parish. Your parole eligibility is at the discretion of the board. The good time date is not eligible, and your full term date is October 15th of 2045. Does that sound correct to you?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's your chance now to tell us what you did to get yourself in trouble and what you are doing to get yourself out, and why should we release you?
Well, sir, I was taking psych meds at the time. I really can't. Excuse me.
We can take that medicine.
Is there anybody in the room with you?
Yes, sir.
Well, let me ask the warden if they are
If they have any comments, because we can't
Let me
understand.
get their comments first, so we can get them to leave the room, and you can maybe take the mask off, because we can't understand you at all. Warden, do you have, or staff member, do you have any comments regarding this case on Mr. Cotlone?
I'm sorry, Doc.
None? Okay. We need him to take that mask off so we can try to understand him. I don't know if you need to leave the room for that, or if you can leave the room, or just want to back off, but we can't understand him.
You can take the mask off.
Okay. All right, you need to try to speak clearly to us, because you are really hard to understand. And
Yes,
back to the original question, what you did and what you've done to make yourself a better person to be released.
Well, I was, from what I understand, I was arrested on August the 28th of 2022. And I really can't elaborate on the night what happened, because I don't remember. And I was charged with, I understand, with 4 charges. And I pled guilty to aggravated assault with all charges dismissed. At the time, I had no lawyer. And I was told if I got out to the aggravated assault, which was a misdemeanor, all the other charges would be dismissed. And that's what I did, sir.
You pled guilty to the misdemeanor, thinking that it wouldn't be a reason to revoke your parole.
Well, yes, sir.
Well, tell me a little bit about that charge. Did you have a gun at that time?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll save that question for later. Is that everything? What did you do since then that you've been incarcerated to justify a release early, like parole?
Well, I'm in a detention center. I've been at Riverbend, and I was sent to Bossier for 10 days to complete the Steve Archer program. But they sent me back to Riverbend, wouldn't let me attend. I guess because I take psych meds. And I've been here ever since. Last time I appeared in front of the parole board, it was stated that I would be, they will find a place for me to go to take my psych meds and get substance abuse treatment, but they never did. That was on April the 6th of 2022. 23 when I appeared in front of Ms. Bernard.
Thank you. I see that we have your mother here who wants to speak on your behalf. Can we get up Miss Loretta Cotlon? Loretta? I have to unmute your device.
Yes, sir.
Would you go ahead and tell us what you have to tell us about Dana?
Yes, upon Dana's release back in April of 2020, he did very well until his PTSD and depression kicked in. He started into going to the VA for mental health, but he was not receiving the therapy. He did have some of the medications, but he had not completely started actively into the therapeutic part of his program. But he was doing fine. He had moved into his own facility, his own home, and he was doing work at the church. He was a member. He's and still is a standing member of the church in the community. He was doing work out in the community, helping the elderly, underprivileged, and disadvantaged. And he does have a history of cancer ×2, and he was receiving treatment for that. So, and I've had communication with the victims of the first incident, and we have a very positive rapport that I know of. And I just hope and pray that the board sees that while he's there where he is now at Riverbend, he is making some progress, but his mental health issues do need to be addressed, and it's not being done. And I think the PTSD and the depression and other medical issues had a lot to do with his mannerism and demeanor when the altercation transpired.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All
Thank
right. We have nobody here in person to speak in opposition, but we do have some opposition from one of the victims has 2 family members that are opposed, and the other victim's family member is unopposed. So there is victim opposition in this case. We also have strong law enforcement opposition. The DA says that he needs to do more than 60% for a violent murder of 2 people. The sheriff is opposed, the chief of police is opposed, and the attorney general is opposed. So we do have a bunch of law enforcement opposition. The case has been assigned to Mr. Tillis. So Mr. Tillis is going to begin your interview.
Good morning, Mr. Dana. How are you?
Fine.
Do you remember, how long have you been incarcerated?
The first time or this time?
The first time was how much?
25 years.
25 years. Do you remember did you take any classes or do anything to help better yourself then?
Yes, sir, I did.
You did? What did you do?
Nurturing, parenting, reentry, character count. I have a lot of certificates that I was involved in, anger management.
Okay, I have them here. I saw those. So what happened on this last charge that you have?
I really don't remember, sir.
Don't remember? Okay, I got it. All right. I have no more questions.
Okay. You know, I see Mr. Cantalone at your last hearing, and I was on the board for that hearing when we revoked you. You know, we had asked for you to be sent somewhere to get a mental health evaluation and to get you on a treatment regimen, which obviously has not been done if you're at Riverbend. So, do they have you on any psych meds right now?
No, sir.
Okay, do you see a
No psych
doctor
meds.
over there?
Excuse me?
Do you see a doctor over there, a mental health
No,
professional?
sir. I have not received any psych meds or seen a psych doctor.
That's why you
Stop
should have
the
been sent where we asked you to go the first time. Okay, I have no further questions.
And I have no questions. Are we ready to vote?
I'm ready. My vote today is gonna be to deny, pending that you get some mental health treatment. I think maybe you need some, and, today my vote's gonna be to deny.
Mr. Freeman? My votes could be the same, but this time I guess I can't order you to hunt for a psych evaluation, but I strongly suggest that we get you to where we can get you on the correct medication and a good program. So, but today my vote is to deny.
And today my vote is to deny, because you've already been paroled once for this violent crime. And while you were on parole, you committed another violent crime. There's strong law enforcement opposition, strong victim opposition from one of the victims. And you killed 2 people over a cell phone bill. My vote is to deny, but I also strongly recommend that they bring you to Hunt where they can help you with your mental health before your next hearing.
I said it last time, sir.
Well, we'll try again.
And I'm still seeking
This
Riverbend.
concludes our business at Riverbend today. Good luck to you.
So I knew they was gonna deny it.